I gotta say, man, you got like the mood lighting going, eh?
Mm-hmm. Sitting on top of my speaker here.
Cool. Well, hey, let's start it off.
Yeah.
Welcome to RokTok, episode 2 already. I mean, it seems like only yesterday. So I thought I would jump right in, introduce you as this is probably the first time, I'm gonna be straight up, this is probably the first time I have used your full name in years. But ladies and gentlemen, the Jason Pike, maker of humans, husband. I mean, you got a lot of hats.
Yeah, that's why I went bald, because I wore too many.
You know, I should just open up. So obviously we do the band thing right now, and somehow everybody in this band ended up being bald. Like, so the question is it part of?
I think at first I started the trend, man.
That's true. You were the originator. The rest of us are just sorry, sad imitations of the original Pike.
Didn't have much of a choice though. It just kind of happens, you know.
I mean, like Jamie
you got to roll with it. You know?
Jamie tried to grow
that.
We shut that down, right? I mean, we were like, dude, listen, there's already 3 of them. Yeah. Like, just let it go, get rid of it, join the clique, be part of the crowd.
Oh, I still remember the first time I seen him bald, like full out bald. He completely shaved his head. And we played, like, I was playing with him in another band at the time, and it was like a Christmas ball kind of rock show kind of thing. But he came out and he had, like, you know, the full bald head. Is just like, whoa. Not used to that. I think he had like the big chops or whatever too.
Oh, he's got to have the chops. Gotta have the chops. So probably a good place to start, actually. So you've played in a few different band adventures, eh? Like you've obviously in the Monkey Unit, which was a pretty big little successful cover type band adventure in town. So I'm curious. Let's talk on the first Monkey Unit adventure. What were some of the, like, because obviously Jamie from that is now part of Astrologer, and that's awesome, and that goes really good. What were some of your favorite parts of being part of that band? Some of the different shows you did in town and stuff. Any really cool kind of funny memories that come to the surface there?
Oh, I don't know. I think a lot of the funny memories are just jamming, you know. Like when we first started out, we had so much fun, just, you know, being a bunch of goofs, really. And you know, and we had tried, like, I don't know, some different, like, bass players and some different singers and stuff like that, and so that was fun, and yeah, it just all those times just in the jam room, you know, just goofing off and you know, acting like idiots really was probably the fun. I remember that. I think maybe the first show we did was it like a summer theme or like or beach theme, I think it was, you know. So like you got Jamie with like this big water ring around his waist or whatever, you know, in swim shorts.
I think he just wears those all the time, right?
Is that okay? Maybe that's just normal for him.
I mean, that's what he wears when he comes over here, just boxers and a floaty ring.
Yeah, but I just remember that show, and it was just ridiculous, right? And that was kind of like that was the whole point, is just to be kind of like you know, just this ridiculous cover band, you know. Really.
Well, I do remember you getting into wearing spandex. That's a thing that happened.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So, well, I was gonna say I could kind of go back a little bit. So we called ourselves Monkey Unit, and at the time I think G Unit was like kind of, you know,
they were the happening unit. Yeah.
So I just, like, I don't know, and I guess it was it Gorilla Unit they stood for? G Unit, something like that.
Something like that. So, I mean, I'm not really up on my 50 Cent backstory, but I mean, I believe you are correct, sir. I'm impressed with your hip hop encyclopedia knowledge.
There you go. And I was just like, I don't know, why don't we just call ourselves Monkey Unit, and we'll put like a little question mark at the end, you know, should we be called?
Yeah.
It was just, I don't know, it's just being goofy, right? And we did that, and then we did a bunch of cover songs. It was fun. And then where were we gonna go with that now?
Oh, we're just talking about the goofiness, right? Like some of the good memories from back then. Because I mean, you guys were a riot.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people at a monkey unit show partook of the adult beverages in quite a
Oh
large
yeah.
capacity at a monkey unit show.
Oh yeah. So did we. We'd have people bringing pictures to us.
I remember.
Like I'd have a pitcher beside me of beer that somebody
Yeah,
brought me.
I
You
don't
know, at all
understand. I don't
times.
understand. I've played shows and I have never. You're getting beers up front. I get nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just back there getting to look at all you sweaty bastards. I get no drinks, no
Oh
love.
man, we sweat beer.
So how do you go from like obviously you're kind of becoming a point where you've played a role in creating a lot of music, and that obviously takes focus and it takes drive and all that. How do you go from like the goofiness and fun and nonsensicalness of monkey unit to like, oh, I'm just gonna sit down now with other people and just decide to be organized and make stuff?
I don't know. I think it all depends on who you're working with, right? Like if you're working with a bunch of goofy guys, I mean, you're gonna make goofy stuff.
Are you saying we're all clean cut, straight up people? I don't know, man.
No, actually, you're not.
I mean, we've seen
No, I
stuff that
don't know.
happens. What's that?
I think it's just who you're playing with, and I remember being as monkey unit, like we did try to make some music, but it was just wasn't really happening. You know what I mean? Like I think maybe only two of us were like really trying to make something happen, where the rest of the band just kind of like didn't really care. You know what I mean? They're just happy playing cover songs, and that's just what worked, with that group. um but when it comes to like me and you and Jamie and that, like we actually put an effort into making songs, and it's more, I guess, serious, right? Instead of
Oh,
just goofing around, even though
let's
there's lots of goofing around.
let's go. Let's like there's a lot. I mean, the stuff that happens in that garage on the regular. It's a wonder we accomplish anything.
Oh
I mean,
man.
the trash talk, the jokes, release of bodily fluids. I mean, whatever's happening in there, it gets a little bit hairy.
It's-
Well, going back, like I think you've told me this story, but I think it's always good bringing it up from time to time. How did you go about getting into the guitar? Because, like, I mean, I knew you for a while before I even knew you played, like at all. It wasn't something you brought up. It wasn't something that, like, I mean, I look at you doing something and I was like, that guy's clearly set to be a rock star. I didn't have that thought until all of a sudden you're like, by the way, I do this thing.
um so I got into guitar really because my mom, actually. I had this paper route when I was little, not that little, but
How
so
good
I
was
was probably about, let me see, it would have been, I think, like 10 or 11, something like that. I got like my first paper route,
Yeah.
and I saved up some money, and my cousin at the time, he had this dirt bike, and I wanted to get like a dirt bike. I wanted
Yeah.
to go and be able to have fun and ride around with him and stuff like that. And my mom is kind of like, it's not a good idea. A, you're probably going to hurt yourself, and B, we live in a townhouse, so fair. uh so then she gave the idea, like, why don't you get like an instrument? Maybe you could get like a guitar or something, right? And at the time I did have one of my friends, Justin, he played drums, and I was like, well, that might be kind of cool, because like I could actually, like, there's somebody I know that I could play with, right? So I ended up going to the music store, and we went and took a look at some of the guitars, and I got this one guitar. I can't remember. It said like it kind of looked like a Fender Squire, but it wasn't. It was like a cheap knockoff kind of guitar. I wish I still had it. I have
we
no
got
idea.
we got nothing. We got nothing against cheap knockoffs in this
Yeah,
house. All right, we fully support cheap knockoffs.
yeah. But yeah, I got that, and then I just started playing. Um, the guitar. I think I went to like 3 lessons total.
Just
I,
crushed
I,
it.
I
So
think I
you
learned how to
didn't know
play
anything
Happy
else.
Birthday and Jingle Bells, and I don't even know what the third one
I
was.
just see you after lesson 3 being like, "There's nothing left for you to teach me, Jimbo." And just rolling out.
But it didn't take me long to actually to start writing stuff. Actually, I what I can show you the first song I ever wrote.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll tell you what, why don't we do this? Why don't you, if you send me the clip, what I'll do is I will
It
put it,
won't take long.
I will, go ahead, pull it up if you want to pull it up.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you're gonna, we're going live. We're going, oh, I didn't know we were going live. All right, let's do it.
I'm gonna play. You guys are gonna be so impressed.
Oh, all these RokTokians are gonna be blown off their various stool.
Hold on, we gotta tune it here.
Oh, I see. Now we got to go through a tune up. This is like jamming.
Okay, well, okay, I'm good. I only need one string.
All right, let's hear it. So this is the first thing you ever created.
Yeah.
Right, after the 3 lessons.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep. Bring it on.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, I'm losing you. I'm losing you. You're not in front of the mic enough.
It's like being in Twilight Zone. But seriously, that was the first thing I ever wrote.
It kind of sounds a little bit like a variation on Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I mean, you essentially took your 3 lessons. You took your 3 lessons and you just plagiarized the crap out of that.
Yeah.
So
there, you have it. That was the first song I ever wrote.
Wow, that was, you know what? I wasn't expecting it deep cuts like this. I mean, this is it's good. So when did you know? I guess it's kind of a weird question, but when did you know that you wanted to play music? Like not just kind of as a hobby or whatnot, but when did you know that you actually wanted to play it? Like when did you first think I could be on a stage with a guitar in my hand and I would love the crap out of that?
Well,
about 17 minutes ago.
Yeah. I don't know, probably when we first started making music, you know. Yep. Because when I first started playing guitar, just before high school, like I played around and I used to, like, I jammed with my buddy or whatever, and you know, we learned a few songs and stuff like that, but it never really went too far, right? And for years I had just kind of dabbled in this and tried learning this song and that, whatever, but I was always big into music, so I always listened to lots of music and had lots of inspiration. But when I was in college and I had met you and O'Brien, and when we started making music, and your sister too, I was kind of like, oh, you know what, like could maybe play live. Like, I mean, never done it before, and it's scary as hell. Like when you've never done that before, it's just like,
the first show.
Yeah, it's like, I hope I don't mess up.
Oh, we messed up.
Oh, we messed up, but nobody really ever notices that much.
No.
Everyone's usually too drunk anyways, but it's true story, including us. But
possibly.
But yeah, I guess maybe at that moment I realized that, yeah, I guess I could do this, as a hobby, at least, right? And
oh, go ahead.
And then I don't know, after we tried doing like recording with other people at first, that kind of sparked the interest to start doing the recording. So I started doing that first. I think that was like my first love, is just doing the recording and bringing in drums and bringing in guitar and bass and trying to create something.
You like to see how it works.
Yeah, I like to see how it works and how it's going to all sound and how it's all put together, right? And yeah,
it's interesting how, I mean, that you have a very good analytical brain, right? Like, I mean, that's why you do the stuff you do, that you've had the jobs you've had. Like, you are seeing a problem, addressing the problem, on a technological side. So I think it makes sense that for you it would be really interesting to start to see a song like a machine in a way, right? Like, see how all the pieces fit together to make it work.
Yeah.
Then over the years, I mean, you've taken that and run with it. You've obviously grown into a pretty phenomenal engineer, producer, and neck deep in things I can't even spell sometimes that sound awesome. So, that's fantastic. But I guess, like, I was talking a bit about this on the first episode there, about where the motivation comes from or why you're doing it. And, Ryan was talking about how it's just like therapy for him. Like, it's just something that that he just realized again is really important for like his well-being in a way, right? Like it's just part of who he is. So I'm curious, what's your drive, man? Because I mean, you know, we're not on stage right now. We're not out there playing to thousands and thousands of adoring fans. So what's the motivation and what drives you?
We have about 2 fans.
You know what? But those 2 fans, when we get back out there, fuck, are they going to go hard? Like they're going to
We
be.
have more fans than that, I'm sure. But my drive, I guess it's just like with music, there's so much to learn. Honestly, like I learn something new like every week, you know. So I guess that's my drive. Like I like being able to learn about the different chord structures and stuff like that, and you know what different keys are gonna give you for what kind of feel and stuff like that. And it's that whole feel of the music that gives you like that high and that drive to keep going, right? Like you can write something that sounds like really kind of dark and deep, and it kind of gives you this feeling, and or you can write something that's really happy and poppy and makes you feel great, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I love that. Like I like creating the music, and that just keeps driving me, and learning more about it, right?
So
Learning more about recording and music theory, stuff like that. Like
dude,
it's
at some point, I mean, your brain, the amount of stuff that you have crammed in there over the last few years,
yeah.
and you've always got something else. Every time I talk to you, there's some new word that you've gotten into that is like your word of the week. You know what I mean? Where you're like, you watch something, you understand it now. So now that's going to be front and center. And I'm like, where'd that come from? Then next week, you're like, I just found out this other thing, man. We got to try this because it's going to do this. And that's going to result in your ears bleeding with awesome. I'm like, okay, let's do it. What's one thing, like we've been doing the music thing for a bit here, but we haven't gotten a chance to showcase the new lineup and some of the new music that's being created. What is one song that you are really, really excited to play in front of people? Like, obviously, playing in front of people is going to be great, and hopefully, we won't be in little bubble suits out there. However, it plays out. If you got to bubble suit me. But what's one song that you are really looking forward to playing for people live?
Just one.
Just if you had to pick one, if you could only go on the stage, if they were like, listen, due to the ongoing global pandemic, you may only play a song for 5 minutes and 17 seconds. And then you got to run off the stage.
Well, I don't know if there's enough time. Some of our songs are like 6 minutes.
We do occasionally struggle with the 3.5 minute track. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess one of my favorites to play is like Light the Fuse. That one's always fun. Even Sunshine. Love playing Sunshine.
Sunshine.
I like playing all of them, honestly. It's hard to pick one, but I guess if I have to pick one, it'd be Light the Fuse.
Yeah, I you know that I'm surprised, but I was thinking you might go with the feels or something. No, you want to melt faces. That's
you just no, that one's kind of starts off kind of calm and cool, and then it gets a little heavier.
Yeah,
it's like a bit of a build-up song, right?
It's kind of. I think about people reacting to that song. I mean, they're gonna have a blast with it, right? Hopefully. Yeah. Obviously, we know that there's people making music that are way more affected than us by this whole situation. People whose livelihoods count on the road and touring and stuff like that, right? So, yeah. You don't want to make too big a deal of it because obviously we're just doing it as a hobby. But man, I'm looking forward to getting that friggin' rock bus out of the friggin' garage, parking that at some place, and just letting go. I don't care if nobody brings me a pitcher of beer. I'll let it slide. We'll get into it. We'll see.
I'll bring you a picture of beer, JD.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Camaraderie. Yeah. So what is it? We've both played with a lot of different people. We've worked with different musicians and whatnot. What do you think it is about this lineup of people that has been able to, one, create stuff, but two, manage to keep it going and keep positive and whatnot during all this stuff, right? Because trying to create and make music during the middle of lockdown 1 and 2 and 3 and limitations and bubbles, I mean, it's a tricky process.
Yeah, it is. I think what's great about us is that we all have a drive, to make music. Like we're all excited to make the music, and I think just we all have like some great ideas, when it comes to music, like I could be struggling with something, and all of a sudden Jamie will come in or Matt will come in and be like, oh, you know what, like, why don't you try like say like this kind of harmony, or try this kind of thing, or give out some ideas. And then you're like we've always worked really well, because I've always been pretty good at putting music together, where you've always written a lot and you've come up with more lyrics than that, right?
Yep.
To the music. So it's like we've each had our own little roles and worked pretty well. And then Matt and Jamie, like, they've played in other bands, and they're very good musicians too. They can they add a lot to the music,
They do.
for just ideas and vocal melodies and the singing. Like, those two guys singing together, it's just like, I don't know, it's like one of a kind. It really is. I can't name another band that sounds like those two guys together.
No, they have
They're unique.
yeah, they have a synchronicity about how they match up.
Yeah.
And they're just tapping into it, right? It'll be really, really exciting and interesting to see how they develop. Now,
Yeah.
if I was going to ask you, who is the one person in the band that you think who is most likely to say something absolutely off the charts crazy?
Off the charts crazy?
Yeah, where every once in a while you might just be jamming and just have to look at somebody and be like, "Oh, sweet hell, where did that come from?"
Maybe you.
You know what? I was thinking about it. My first thought was maybe Matt, because Matt will occasionally say something out of nowhere too. He'll just be quiet for like half an hour, and then it's just bombs away on Crazy Town, and then we're all laughing and in tears, right? Trying to, gasping for air and all kinds of stuff in there. Is there? I know you have some guitarists that you very much enjoy, but is there one that you gravitate towards as like an inspiration, like someone that you're like, hey, that's the guy that I want to play like?
Oh, I remember just like growing up, it was always like Slash was one of them. That like Kirk Hammett from Metallica.
Yep.
Even another one of my favorites is John 5. Yeah, I don't know. There was a bunch, but those three probably, will be my top three.
That's good. It just popped in my head too, and I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier. Is there photo evidence of you in a paperboy outfit?
No.
Oh, this is so disappointing.
No, we just didn't have cameras back then.
Oh yeah, something for the kids, right? Hey, there was a time before we all had giant HD cameras available in our pockets. You remember?
We used to have like the Kodak, disposable film ones.
Yeah. Do you remember they had that case of beer? They had the holiday pack of beer that came with the 4 beers, and it came with a 24 picture camera.
Yeah, and it says on the box, here for a good time.
Yeah.
Not a long time.
Oh my goodness. Some of those picture rolls developed. I can only imagine what the people at Walmart were thinking. They were just like, who are these? Oh, well, you know what? In fairness, we weren't the ones that decided to include a camera in a case of beer.
Yeah.
Like, that was just, you knew what was going to happen. You got 8 people that show up at a party with the same case of beer. That's freaking 165 pictures that are going to get taken roughly in 4 hours. It's going to get weird.
Now they're all sitting in a box somewhere.
Dude, I found a bunch a while ago. There was some pretty funny ones. Just a lot of people laughing, like horrible close-ups. Because the selfie wasn't a thing back then, right? So you've got people taking a picture of something like right here, like someone's nose, like someone trying to go around and get a shot of something
down here.
Yeah, maybe. I guess I have a special spot for those ones. Yeah. So coming out of this whole lockdown adventure, getting out there and playing. When do you think? Where do you see us playing first? Does it matter? You're just like, hey, wherever they'll have us, we'll go play right away. Do we just set up a truck somewhere and play for people without them paying, or even being able to run away from our music?
Yeah, I think probably just somewhere in town first. Kind of get things rolling, I guess. It's been like 2 years. After like the whole pandemic thing, if it ever ends. But yeah, probably somewhere in town, I would imagine.
What's obviously I'm always trying to push nicknames because I think nicknames are great. and I've been trying to push Jason. That's how Daddy liked Pike. I don't know if it's going to catch on. We're trying to get some t-shirts made up, but there was one thing you wanted people to know about the axe god that is Jason M. Pike. What would you like if they're coming out to a show? What can they expect to see from you?
Expect to see from me?
Yeah,
I don't know.
absolutely nothing worth their time.
You know me, like I'm not very like, hey, look at me, I'm so awesome. I'm not like that kind of person at all. Like I'm pretty pretty laid back.
No jump kicks.
Well, depends how many wobbly pops I've had.
I found this too.
How tight my pants are. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think they need to know anything special about me. I just hope that when people come out and do see us play, that they enjoy the music, like, yeah.
All you can really ask, right? And I think I know they will. I know it's going to be a really cool debut for the folks. I got something. I showed Ryan this too. He was pretty blown away. I found these the other day going through a few things. I got about 8 of them left. See if this brings back any memories.
Yeah.
Right? I couldn't believe it, man, with our old.
Well, that was the one we recorded with Bob, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then we sat there and we bought the stickers for the CDs. We printed them all out.
Yeah, sticking
burned them all in the basement. I found that in the bottom drawer, in the bottom of a box. I was like, oh wow, I still have a couple of these. We used to give them out everywhere.
Do you still have any t-shirts?
I think I have maybe 3 t-shirts left.
Yeah.
From that original box. Yeah. So
I think I have one. Well, Kristen has the one. She wears it like it's a night shirt.
She does enjoy rocking her man, the Rockstar's t-shirt. It was a good shirt. I always liked it.
Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna finish on one song, maybe a little something to show the people from Astrologer. What song would you like to finish this video off with to give them a little taste of what's coming?
Of what we already have released?
Either or, whatever path you want to take.
Oh my God. I would like to show people sunshine.
Yeah. All right. We'll throw.
But I don't know if we're all in agreement to show people that yet. I don't know.
Oh, I think we can show a little bit. We'll give them a little teaser. Just what are we gonna salt bay it, right? We'll just put a little sprinkle on there for them.
Okay. All right. Yep.
All right, man. That's all I got. I think it was a good little chat. Rock Talk episode 2 is down. We always finish it with the rock hands up. There you go. Have a good night, hombre.
See you, man.